For those in the audience getting to know you for the very first time, care to share where you were born?
I was born in Conway, South Carolina.
And care to share where you were raised?
A little bit of everywhere, but I say Myrtle Beach.
And can you elaborate on that?
I just went to multiple schools, but then I went out of state too. I stayed in Illinois for a little while.
Are you able to put some ages on this? So, starting when you were born in Conway.
Born in Conway, went to Palmetto Bays. I know y'all probably don't know what that is, but it's elementary school. Whenever I was like 6, 7, we moved to the outskirts of Chicago to a place called Bloomington. And I stayed out there for like 7 years. And I ended up moving back whenever I was probably like 13, 14, you know what I'm saying? Like middle school.
And still reside in Myrtle Beach today?
Yeah, facts.
Now, what was the reason for the move to Illinois and then back to Myrtle Beach?
It's just family issues and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just growing up, trying to reside in somewhere safe. I guess my mom wanted to take me out of different things that we was around whenever I was a little kid. So that we tried that, but then we ended up being in a worse area, low key, in a way, you know.
And just for clarification, wanted to follow up on this. You were born in Conway, but at what age do you move to Myrtle Beach initially?
See, this is why I say I was more or less raised in Myrtle Beach because I was staying in Conway whenever I came back. But then I didn't stay with my mom or nothing like that. I was staying with my grandma. And I went to middle school on the beach, even though I was living in Conway, right? So every morning I had a teacher that taught my dad whenever he was in high school. And she just so happened to be at the same high school I was at whenever I was going to school. And she stayed towards Conway, but then she went to school to teach in Sagastee on the beach. So she'll pick me up every morning. And then that's how I got to school on the beach. So I was raised in high school and stuff on the beach, even though I resided in Conway. So I would go back and forth every day. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
And this was a grandmother that you're referencing on the mother's side of your family or father's side?
On my father's side.
And care to share the middle school name you referenced as well?
I went to Forestburg Middle School, the Gators. It's a lot of alligators around there.
Now, when it comes to Myrtle Beach, does it get any more specific than that for you? Like a particular part of Myrtle Beach you represent by any chance?
Sagastee is where I grew up at. That's where I, you know what I'm saying, went to school at. Because, you know, they got Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, Sagastee, Surfside. There's all different, you know what I'm saying, parts of the beach and stuff. I went to Sagastee. Everybody rivals and all that, you know, how it goes whenever you grow up in different territories and stuff. Sports. Well, like I told you, I was staying in Conway for a little while, and I ended up moving to the beach probably whenever I was like 18, 17. So probably since then to now,
Care to share your current age?
23.
And your birthday while you're at it? Month and the day, perhaps?
September 27th, I'm a Libra. For those who are interested in that, it's a lot of people there.
Now, what was that really like growing up in Myrtle Beach for you?
I mean, shoot, just like, any other place, but the thing about where I stay at is like what do you call it? People that come in town to come visit, what do you call it?
Out-of-towners?
Tourists. It's a tourist attraction, okay? So where I stay at is a tourist attraction. So there's different like events, seasonal events where a lot of people come in town and stuff like that, like bike week and just the summer and all that stuff, but it's really a retirement area. So I can't say it'd be lit and all that type of stuff like that, but it's different parts where it definitely has its time. As far as growing up, it was cool, man. You know, you always just get into stuff when you're younger and everything, so it's just like everywhere else, honestly.
Now, what was the high point for you growing up in Myrtle Beach? What was a really positive moment for you?
Shoot. I played basketball whenever I was in high school, so that was a good time. Before I took a left turn, you know what I'm saying? I was really into that basketball. I was supposed to be in the NBA, you know. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We still balling though.
And what high school was this that you're referencing?
That's I can see. Facts. But then the thing about it is, whenever I went to different high schools, you can like look up in the different high school books and stuff. I went to Carolina Forest High School for a little bit. I went to Socastee, and whenever I went to school in Bloomington, I played all these different basketball teams, all on varsity. You know, so I was a varsity athlete. That's why I liked it so much, because I was decent at it. Facts.
And what grades did you play varsity in? Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior?
A little bit of 8th grade. I got pulled up with a couple other teammates, and then ever since then, I've been on varsity, no JV.
And when did that stop, this left turn that you speak of?
See, around like 11th grade, I had got kicked off the team for fighting. So then it was like, everything just kind of just was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But then I still was trying to do it a little bit, but I just wasn't focused on it no more. It was just other things that I had going on at the time where it just kind of just took over. But you know how that go.
Was this a fight with another teammate on that team?
Yeah, funny about a girl.
Was this during an actual basketball game?
Yeah, I mean, we was down throwing little shots at each other on the bench and stuff like that because he was on my, he was saying stuff to me all day because he felt some type of way because a girl that he liked told him to his face that she had liked me. This some high school drama, you know how that go. But then we ended up bickering on the sideline of the game, and then after the game, I was walking distance from my school where I was staying at. So after the game, I'm sitting there walking home like I always do. Shoot, I see him come around the corner. He's sitting there trying to fight me and stuff. So we had dropped our book bags. We started fighting and all that. Nobody even knew about that fight though, except for his mom, because she came out of nowhere and started trying to yell at us and all that. So everything was cool. But then Monday came, and then he told the whole school, yeah, if he say anything to me, I'ma do him, da 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 da. So I went to go find him. We ended up fighting in front of the school, and then it was just over with, man, after that. We had both got kicked off the team, and it was toward the playoffs and all this stuff, so it was extra. A whole lot of extra for nothing.
Now, were you getting or receiving scholarship offers yet?
Looks.
Okay.
A lot of looks. A lot of looks. Facts.
Now, hypothetically speaking, you said you could be in the NBA. Were you just like joking, being sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek there, or do you honestly think you could have been playing in the NBA had you kept going with the trajectory you were on?
I honestly think that if my mind was focused on that and I had no distractions, then I probably could have made it to somewhere further. I ain't gonna say the NBA, but definitely a farther career in basketball. I played against NBA players. I played against Ben Simmons. I played against Zion Williamson's basketball team. A lot of people. Chase Jeter, Grayson Allen. We played all these type of people because at my school, Socastee High School, we host the Beach Ball Classic. So people come in from all over the world to come play us in our tournament. You know what I'm saying? So it's real nice. I done seen a lot of things. I done guarded a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got it, you know. And you don't never lose it neither. I still got it. So if people can come and get it too, okay? Stop it.
What position did you play back then in high school?
More like a small forward, shooting guard whenever I was in high school. Whatever.
Now, just for clarification, when Ben Simmons comes into town for a game, do you actually play Ben Simmons himself or his team?
We played him and his team.
But did you personally play Ben Simmons?
Yeah, like I'm talking about the real game going on, and my 5 and his 5 is going against each other, high school to high school. Like I'm guarding him in certain possessions and all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. I done guarded plenty of NBA players, for real.
Now, when it comes to Ben Simmons, what was that like, playing him, guarding him, those certain positions you did back then?
Man, bro. You said I could pass on questions, right? Nah, I'm fucking with you. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, man. Their team was raw back in the day. Just like I told you, the people come from all out around the world and everything. So these were some of the best athletes in the world. So Ben Simmons, not only him, but his whole team. I forgot what team he was on, but we was playing teams like Montverde Academy, Oak Hill, and all that stuff like that. Bro, stop it. You think we was doing that? You think we was holding that down? We was doing okay. Like, we wasn't getting tortured. It was certain games where we got blown out, though, just because we a smaller school. You know what I'm saying? But we was holding our own, though. I got so much experience just seeing these folks, but they was doing us, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. We wasn't the best in the tournament. We just hosted it. It was our tournament, and it was a big tournament. You can't count. Okay, we wasn't beating Ben Simmons' team. We beat Zion Williamson's team, though. We beat their team. Facts.
Now, did you actually play or have any guarding positions on Zion personally back then?
No, I didn't have none on him that specific time. Funny to say, because I know y'all wondering, but he was hurt that game. He was hurt that game. He didn't play, so we whooped his team. He was on the sideline watching us whoop him.
When it comes to Ben Simmons, did you see or foresee how far he would get successfully with a basketball career back then, guarding him in those high school days? Did you see the potential at all? Did you?
Yeah, they was definitely nice, man. I'm not gonna say that they was just like average players and they just had the spotlight. They definitely was nice, and it was definitely some dramatic players they had beside them too. That was just outstandingly nice players. And I don't know where they at right now or whatever like that, but you know what I'm saying? They definitely was in the right spot.
When you see someone like Ben Simmons who's gone as far as he's gotten thus far in the NBA, what do you make of it?
Hey, good for him, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I think it's pretty cool though. At the end of the day, I still got homies that's chasing that dream, and I wish the best for them, and I hope that they can get to that level, or my music career will take me to that level to where I get to still meet some of these folks or see them again. You know, facts. Cause I mean, I ain't done yet. You can still see them on the court. Facts.
Now, when it comes to high school, how far did you get with your education?
I got a diploma. I got a diploma for my mama. That's one thing I promised I was gonna get, but then I ain't do the college thing. I was thinking about going and stuff like that, and I ended up enrolling because like I had decent grades and stuff. Like I was a smart kid, you know, but I couldn't hold on to it, bro. Like it wasn't it for me. I had to get up out of there. It was just my time. I did it just for her.
So just for clarification, you actually enrolled out of school or you just had a thought of enrolling?
Nah, I did enroll into a community college, I guess you could say. I had scholarship, you know, the life scholarship. You get the life scholarship for good grades and stuff like that. And then, like I told you, I had different looks, but I didn't get those looks because I got suspended around my 11th grade year. That's around when you would actually get your scholarships, your senior year, your junior year, and all that. Well, I got in trouble around that time. So then whenever it was time for me to actually enroll into college, I enrolled in a community college because I thought I was finna chase a business degree a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then whenever I got in there, everything, my mind was just not on that. I was already making music. So it was like, bro, I'd rather just put all my time into just doing something that I, you know what I'm saying, feel myself more comfortable doing.
So just for further clarification, you enroll into the community college. Did you actually start a class, or you quit, dropped out, stopped, whatever phrase you want to use there, before class actually started?
Nah, I went to probably a week's worth of class. Facts. That's how I knew it wasn't for me. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, bro, why am I still doing this? Like, I don't got to do this no more.
Now, you mentioned that you were doing this for your mother as far as getting the diploma and then continuing on with, just for clarification, continuing on with the higher education, like community college, that was for your mom as well?
In a way, it was kind of like for my mom, but then at the same time, like, I don't know, I felt like I was trying to be the person that did like all the way right because I was smart and I still am, you know what I'm saying? But I felt like I was trying to be the person that went all the way, but then I got more or less like, man, let me put down this because it's not all the way me. Let me be all the way me instead of trying to make my moms and make my family happy or whatever like that. Let me just make myself happy. You know what I'm saying? I already did that for them, and it's okay to do that for people that take care of you, but not your whole life though. You know, you got to do you. So I was just like, bro, it's time to go ahead and make my dreams happen.
And what community college was this that you're referencing here?
Horry Georgetown Technical College.
What was your mother's reaction when you make that decision to stop furthering the education after a week's worth of classes?
She didn't really care too much. Let me rephrase that. I'm not gonna say she ain't care, but she didn't say nothing to me because of the fact that she believed in what I had going on. Because at that point in time, like I told you, I was already rapping and stuff. And the way I talk, I made her breathe it too with me. You know what I'm saying? So she understand what I got going on, and she fully behind me. So.
And prior to you making that decision to enroll into that community college, because you were getting looks at the time but didn't get formal athletic scholarship offers, was there a thought on possibly walking on and continuing with basketball as you were furthering your education?
Still to this day, I'll be like, man, if I go try out for a team, I know I'll make it. The only problem they're gonna have is just my tattoos and stuff. But other than that, I would make the team, bro. I'm not tripping. All it would take is just a little bit of practice and all that, get back in shape for that, and then I know I would have a chance in making it. I got a cousin that played for Coastal right next to where I stay at right now. His name Jimmy. You feel me? He on there right now as a center. One of the tallest dudes on the team.
This cousin on your mother's side or father's side?
Father's side.
Now, when it comes to that decision making, looking at how everything's played out thus far, for you, not furthering your education at the time, any regret on that?
Nah. Not at the moment. You know, later on you might have that decision to go back, but right now I'm good.
And why not? There are some people that have or harbor those regrets.
Because I feel like I'm in my own bag. I feel like I'm in my own lane, and I'm doing what I want to do and everything I'm capable of doing. You feel me? So.
And what about this? Any regrets on stopping, quitting, whatever phrase you want to use there, basketball at the time in the 11th grade after the fight, not furthering the basketball or sports career?
You saying did I want to stop?
No. Was there any regret with that decision making there, not furthering basketball at the time?
I've been making music since I've been in like 11th grade. So, I mean, right after I got in trouble, I kind of just fell like into that. But, you know, when you making music or you playing sports, you around different crowds, you know? It's just, that's why I say, I ain't gonna say I took a left turn. I ain't never took a left turn. I always did. I ended up being right. But basketball, people don't be around people who say smoke or just, you know what I'm saying? If they real serious about it, they don't party a lot or nothing like that. Whenever you making music, you have to go hit the scenes and all this stuff like that, you feel me? So I was just like, let me just go ahead and go full throttle with this right here, because this is what I got. So nah, no regrets.
Wrapping up about your education, anything else you want to mention in regards to your education that was not said in this interview? Any question you weren't asked? Anything else in regards to your education here?
Nah, shout out my high school, though. Shout out Sacristy. So that's
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, what was the bottom point for you growing up? What was the worst moment that you experienced?
The worst moment I probably experienced was when my dad got arrested, probably. Facts. Because I was fresh moving back with him and trying to build a relationship with him at the time. So then he got arrested right after that.
And did he end up having to serve time?
Yeah, he just got out from doing like 8.5. He just got out. Facts.
What's that relationship with him been like over that amount of time?
While he was in or while he got out?
While he was in, while he just got out? Because initially you move to build that relationship with him, and then that happened. So what was that relationship like after that had happened?
Well, you know, we was more or less disappointed when everything happened and everything, because I haven't seen him in a little while because I stayed in Illinois, like I told you, with my mom's. But I ended up leaving her and coming back with my pops and stuff. So we was trying to, I guess, build a bond that we was missing over the years and stuff. So, but then out of nowhere, stuff just went down or whatever, and then he had to go serve some time or whatever, and then I guess throughout the whole time we were just communicating. Like I feel like he was just like, in a way, like a guardian angel of mine, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He knew he could call me or whatever like that if he really needed something or anything like that. But he'd write me letters and just all this stuff to just try to keep me focused or just whatever. He would always try to breathe basketball to me whenever I was younger, and then whenever I decided to make music, he would try to tell me different things that I should do, because he was a music artist. He was a rapper himself. He was a pretty big rapper in my city, in Conway. You know, so our relationship was always just like, he give me advice, bro. He like always over my shoulder. Still to this day, he still try to just breathe in my ear.
Was it state or federal time that he ends up doing?
Federal time. Facts.
And care to share his stage name back then? In those
Face
days?
Monopoly. He go by Face Monopoly.
Now, aside from communication via writing, as you've already described, would there actually be physical visits with him?
Yeah, there'd be a couple physical visits. They actually moved him like out of state though, so every time we went to go see him, we would have to travel like 7-8 hours every time. I remember he was in Virginia for a little bit. They had him in Kentucky, all different places and stuff. Just kept on moving him. So, but I mean, we would always go see him every now and then and stuff. Other than that, we would talk on the phone or write each other.
When it came to those physical visits, were those visits that he requested, like he wanted to see you, or were those visits that you actually wanted to do? You wanted to see him?
Both. We wanted to see each other. You know?
And the reason for that question is I've heard sometimes that there are inmates that don't want to see family members, see them looking
Fact.
the way they are behind bars and that sort of thing. So just curious.
Nah, we passed that. Like, I feel like we was, you know what I'm saying? I was a growing man, and then he is a man and stuff. We passed all that. I feel like if you ain't no real man, you wouldn't want your people to see you like that. But I mean, he owned up to what he had going on and everything like that. Well, you know what I'm saying? He took responsibility for what he had going on, you know? So and there's no ducking or hiding or anything like that. Why not see your kids or something? You know what I'm saying? It's that mutual love we have for each other.
Now, from your perspective as his son, what's that like seeing a parent incarcerated?
I mean, shoot, man. It is what it is, man. I mean, it's hard because he was gone. But I mean, at the same time, I knew he'd be back. He ain't get a life sentence. He could have got a life sentence. Not saying that that's what they was offering him, but I mean, there's worser things that happen where your people could be gone for your whole life. He back, so I mean, hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, so.
Now, circumstances could be different for everyone, so generally speaking here, but let's say there's someone in the audience that's having a similar experience. They have a parent of theirs that's incarcerated, and anything you would say to them?
I would say make sure that they know that you care about them. You know what I'm saying? Because when you in that box, you know what I'm saying, they get cold, lonely. So just make sure you always writing them or writing them back, you know, because words mean everything, and especially when you in a place like that, you might be their flame, man, keeping them going and stuff, you know. Or they might be thinking about you all day, you don't even know, you know. So if that's somebody that you care about and they're in that box, just make sure that you keep that communication line open.
Anything else to someone in the audience going through something similar? Parent incarcerated.
Hold them down, that's all. Just hold them down. Yeah.
Now, what about actually visiting physically their parent while incarcerated? Anything you would say advice-wise on that end? Again, circumstances could be different for everyone, so generally speaking here. Maybe their first visit, their first time visiting a parent incarcerated physically.
If they gone for a while, I would say don't make the first time like a you thing, because they know what they did. You know what I'm saying? They facing it too. They thinking about it. They thinking about how they gonna leave you for a while. I would say, you know what I'm saying, get all your questions answered, but in due time, you know what I'm saying, they gonna unfold and they gonna unveil themselves. I would say just don't make them feel worse than what they already feeling. That's all I could really say. Go there and spend your time with your people and just show them that you love and care about them, because that's what matters the most, especially in this day and age.
And speaking of your father, who was a rapper at one point in his life, is he still active with that at all?
Man, his dad just told me to send him a song that I made the other day. He made me extend the beat on it. He want to get on it. So, I mean, yeah, I guess he going to get back in the studio and stuff like that. My daddy really, he was a real rapper now. My daddy got songs with Gucci Mane, Shawty Low, Yo Gotti. He probably the only rappers in the world that got Yo Gotti and Gucci Mane on the same mixtape. Like, that shit right there is different. But he had to put it all down.
Now, when it comes to your father, who's still in music somewhat, was there ever a thought on him? Excuse me. Was there ever a thought on incorporating him in your career in an employee circumstance? So, for example, you've already mentioned that he does provide advice and things of that nature already. But, sometimes people will include family members in their entourage,
Right.
a formal position like manager, DJ, security, things of that nature. Has that ever been a thought, or is it just more or less just words of wisdom from afar?
I mean, he could be my manager.
Consultation, if you
I
if
would
you
let
will.
him be my manager, but he got such a big head himself. Like he got his own thing going on and stuff, so he ain't got no time to just put hands on like everything on me. He a businessman himself. But I would let him be my manager. Like when he first got out the feds, you'll be on like some type of probation, all that stuff, parole, whatever. He was on house arrest. Excuse me. He was acting as my manager at that point in time because he couldn't move around and stuff, But then I ended up hiring my own manager in due time after that. But I definitely would let him be my manager. He's smart enough to be. He knows the business from the experience. So, but other than that, though, I mean, he'll just be like my helping hand, though.
Now, following up with a set of questions here in regards to that description you just presented, when it comes to having your father play the role as manager, was that something you offer him, or was that something he insists to you at that time in your life?
I guess it was just like a mutual decision because him just being in my ear. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it is. And he'll call different people and stuff. So, I mean, it ended up just falling into place like that for a little while. And it'd be to the point where I was sending him all my stuff, and then he would be sending it out, or he would be trying to critique little things that I was doing. So it just ended up being like that for a little while.
Now, did that cause some sort of rift between you two when you replace his managerial services with another person's?
No, not at all. He wanted me to do that. He was helping me for the time being until he got his stuff together. He, got to miss out on a lot of stuff that I had going on over the years. And when I got out, he got to catch up. And that was a good time for us, So, I mean, he more or less was just seeing what I had going on and giving his critique on it. And we gave it a couple months on that. And then we was always talking about me hiring another manager anyways, which right now I do. Got a manager. My manager's name is LD. And it's, I think me and Trap Boy Freddy share the same manager right now.
Now, when it comes to your upbringing, how were you able to survive that? Was there a key to your survival, perhaps?
Determination, really. I told myself that I would be greater than my demons and I'll be greater than the things that I had going on because I done been through a lot. We all have, we all got our own stories. But I always told myself that I was better than, and you know what I'm saying? I just more or less feel like that I had to be a lion in the jungle, more or less. It was a lot of stuff that I had around me going on or just people that was getting took from me or just different circumstances that I couldn't control. And it's all about your mindset at the end of the day. You can't let it break or you can't fold. You just got to keep it pushing, man. End of the day, you know what I'm saying? Life gonna go on.
Now, there are some people who say things like, don't know if I'll make it to see the age of 18 or 21, for example.
Yeah.
Did you have any of these thoughts yourself growing up in that environment?
Facts.
Was it a specific age for you didn't think you would quite see? Was there a numeric figure, perhaps?
Not necessarily that I wouldn't see it, but thoughts that it could have happened. You feel what I'm saying? I always knew that if I stood still, then I would make it to whatever age that God allowed me to make it to. But at the same time, things happen. So I always had thoughts that something could have happened from things that I was putting myself into, because that's how the dice roll. But nah, I didn't think that I was just finna die, But I'm glad that I'm here right now at the age that I am, because it's a lot of people that is not as blessed, I guess.
Now, hypothetically speaking, what would you have said to your younger self back then?
Don't date no girls right now. Wait till you older. Don't do that. They knock you off focus. I was really focused on just, somebody that I liked and they was slowing me down. I ain't gonna cap. Everybody got a love story. That's how that shit go. I would have told myself, don't get in no relationship. Just do what you do. That's what I would have told myself. Other than that, just stay out of everybody's way. Like, somebody trying to do something stupid, just, you know what I'm saying? All right, bro, see you later. That's what I would have told myself, nothing else.
You mentioned God here. Do you follow a religion by any chance?
I feel like I'm not necessarily following a religion. I don't think I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying, Catholic or nothing like that. I feel like I believe in God, and I believe that everybody is a God within themselves, and you're made in God's image. I believe in manifestation, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that you have the power to, you know what I'm saying, you reap or sow your own destiny. I feel like if you do bad, bad gonna happen to you. If you do good, good gonna happen to you. Depending on who you put yourself around, you can choose to hang out with these people. You can choose to go here, choose to go there. That's why I feel like God gave you the option to do all this for yourself, you feel me? So that's why I feel like I'm not necessarily in a religion, and I have read the Bible, but I feel like that I believe it in my own way, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that's wrong.
You've read the entire Bible?
As a kid, yeah. I had a children's Bible that I read, you know what I'm saying? They tricked me into thinking that was just like a children's book. I read the Bible, and then I had a Bible just going to Bible study and everything like that as a teenager. You know, my people's different times where you in crisis in your life, they feel like you gotta run to church, my bad. You gotta run to church and stuff like that. Well, that's how my people did me whenever I was like a teenager too. You know what I'm saying? They made me go to Bible study and stuff. So I mean, I read the Bible, man. I read the Bible.
Were you raised to follow a religion?
I think my mom was Catholic, if I'm not mistaken, and just different people she had me around or whatever like that, they had religions. So I mean, we was raised to go into church every now and then. You know, sometimes we would go to church a lot. Not necessarily to follow a specific religion though. Nobody told me you had to be this, you know? No.
And when it comes to your mother, who is Catholic, and this line of thinking that you have, that you've already just described, did that cause a rift between you and her by any chance at some point in your life?
Not at all. I feel like more or less with her or anybody else that I have these conversations with about, say, God or just beliefs, we get into a very deep conversation, and then it ends up just making sense both ways, you know? Because at the end of the day, you might got a religion, but I'm not telling you that what you believe is wrong, you know? And what I'm saying, I don't believe that somebody will tell me what I believe is necessarily wrong, you know? Because it's not like I'm saying it's no holiness in the world, or it's no, you know what I'm saying, religion. I mean, not necessarily religion. I'm talking about spirituality. That's what I mean to say. No spirituality in the world, or your soul and all that stuff like that. All that's real to me. I believe in all that, but in my own way.
And the reason for that question there was sometimes different lines of thinking between family members can cause a rift on the subject of religion.
Yeah, fast.
Not seeing eye to eye on the same thing and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So just curious if that was an issue for you.
I've seen families like that, yeah, definitely. There's people that have kicked their kids out over what they believe in and all this stuff like that. Nah, my people ain't like that, man. We love each other. That's only a little bit of us, so we got to.
There's a mirror beside you if you need it, but how many face tattoos do you have at this point?
I got 2.
And care to share the meanings behind any of your face tats?
Well, I got this right here. Hold on. So look, this say the fast life. This probably like the 3rd or 4th tattoo I ever got. That's when I told myself I'm finna take this lifestyle that I live serious. You know what I'm saying? I go by the fast life, baby. Rariboy Spin. You feel what I'm saying? So I put the fast life on my face. I got the fast life 1, 2, and 3 out. It's a lifestyle. It's not just, it's the way I breathe and I live. So I put that there, that's how I live. So when you see me, you see that. And I put this on my face. I feel like, cause I was going through something at a time where I felt like it's a lot of people that trying to have control in my life or a hand in my decision making. And I feel like with this, it means no governmental or no government rule, no dominant power over me. No man is over another man. So that's why I put that right there. So when you see me, you see freedom. You know what I'm saying? I believe that you are supposed to empower yourself. Nobody has the power over you and your decision making. That's why I put that on my face. I feel like when you see me, you see free.
Did you want to share the meaning behind the other tattoo as well?
That was both of them.
Okay, got it.
That was both of them.
Now, this fast life,
Right.
did you get the tattoo first of it actually saying those words on your face? Or did you create the project 1, 2, and 3 first, and then the tattoo came after?
I think I put the tattoo on my face right before my first project was finna drop. You know what I'm saying? And that was like 3 years ago, 2019.
So just for further clarification, did you already have this title in mind for the first project, Fast Life 1? Or was it the tattoo that may have inspired that title choice there?
I feel like I came up with it. I came up with the brand and everything that I was riding with at the time. I feel like the way I live my life and everything, it just kind of just fit good. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that be happening that I could barely keep up with sometimes. So, I mean, I feel like we just gonna ride with that, you know.
And when it comes to, just for further clarification here, when it comes to both of those tattoos on your face, did you get those both done at the same time?
Never.
Okay.
Different timing.
The actual word spelled out came before the other symbol on your cheek?
Fact.
Okay. Do you remember what age you were? The very first face tattoo, your third tattoo on your body.
18, 19. Fact.
Out of high school or still in high school at the time? Very first face tattoo.
I think as soon as I got out of high school, going into college, definitely.
When it comes to that series there, 1, 2, and 3, is that third installment the end of that series, or?
No. I feel like it shows my growth as an artist and my connections that is being made. So, you know what I'm saying? The first one, I had Lil CJ Casino on it. The second one, I had Hood Rich Pablo One and CJ. The third one, I think I did myself, but I was trying to show growth as an artist. The fourth one, I'm finna have some bigger features. I feel like that's how I want to keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? Even if I get to the Fast Life 10, then it's gonna be, maybe we can get Drake and Lil Wayne and all that. You know how it go, man. I'm trying to go bigger and better every year. It just shows growth as an artist. Or maybe it'll be something where I don't put no features on if I feel like I'm like that at the time and I'm feeling myself, you know?
Is there a thought on the fourth installment, or is there actually work being done for a fourth installment?
Work is actually being done on it right now, you know what I'm saying? Because communication and networking is being done every day. It's just more or less like I want genuine people that really rock with my brand and my team right now. I don't want to say I just want to pay this person just because for a feature or nothing. Maybe we can work in some connections or some out of love, genuality and all that. You know, so we just kind of see like more or less who we want to work with for this project and this tape. We can't just have anybody on it, man. It's gonna be stamped. Can't just put anybody on the project. Facts. But it's always in the work, man. I might put a song that I made this year on it, and if I drop it next year, it be like that.